All right, Kenya, let's get straight into it. We're talking about a political rivalry, a big one. It has defined Kenyan elections for decades. I'm talking about the Luo and the Kikuyu communities. These are two of the largest ethnic groups in our beautiful nation. Their political competition is legendary. It's a story that needs telling, especially as we look towards 2027. Why this constant squaring off? What's really behind it all? Tonight, we delve deep. You don't want to miss this. It's going to be absolutely smamakin. First up, the Kikuyu. They are Kenya's largest ethnic group, predominantly residing in the Mount Kenya region, the fertile Central Highlands. Historically, they have been incredibly influential in Kenyan politics. Think about it, our founding father, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, was Kikuyu. President Mwai Kibaki, Kikuyu, and more recently, President Uhuru Kenyatta, also Kikuyu. This community has produced leaders who have shaped Kenya's destiny. Their numbers and economic influence often make them a crucial voting bloc. Every serious presidential contender needs a strategy for the mountain. Then we have the Luo community. They are another major ethnic group, primarily from the Lake Victoria region in western Kenya. Nyanza province is their heartland. The Luo have also played a massive role in our nation's politics. Think of leaders like Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, Raila Odinga's father, who was Kenya's first vice president. And of course, Raila Odinga himself, a political titan who has vied for the presidency multiple times. Despite their significant political presence and passionate support base, the presidency has remained elusive for the Luo. This long quest is a central part of their political narrative. Now let's be clear, when we talk about this rivalry, it's overwhelmingly political. It's about power. It's about representation at the highest level. It's not typically about everyday folks from these communities disliking each other on a personal level. You'll find Kikuyus and Luos as friends, business partners, and spouses all across Kenya. But come election time, oh my, the political temperature rises. Ethnic identity often becomes a key mobilization tool. The stakes are high, and the battle for State House intensifies along these well-established political fault lines. It's a complex dance, Kenya. So where did this all begin? Let's rewind the clock, back to the dawn of our independence in 1963. Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, a Kikuyu, became our first president. And who was his vice president? None other than Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, a Luo, an alliance of giants. It was a moment of hope, a symbol of national unity. Two powerful communities, hand in hand, leading a new nation. It seemed like the perfect start. But as we know, politics is a slippery game. Things didn't stay rosy for long. The initial brotherhood soon faced strong headwinds. Ideological differences began to surface between Kenyatta and Odinga. Kenyatta leaned towards a more capitalist, Western-aligned path. Odinga, on the other hand, advocated for a more socialist approach. These weren't just minor disagreements, folks. They were fundamental differences in vision for Kenya. This led to a bitter fallout. Odinga resigned from KANU, the ruling party, and formed the Kenya People's Union, or KPU, in 1966. This was the spark, the beginning of a political schism that would echo for generations. What followed was a period of intense political maneuvering and, sadly, suppression. The KPU faced immense pressure from the state. Eventually, it was banned in 1969, and its leaders, including Odinga, were detained. This crackdown cemented the perception among many Luos of marginalization and exclusion from the national power structure. For years, the presidency remained predominantly with leaders from the Kikuyu community. Mzee Kenyatta was followed by Daniel Arap Moi, a Kalenjin, for a long stretch. But the Kikuyu political influence remained significant, later returning with Mwai Kibaki and then Uhuru Kenyatta. This history is crucial. It's filled with moments that different communities remember differently. Broken promises, perceived or real, became a recurring theme in Kenyan politics. Not just between the Luo and Kikuyu, but among various ethnic groups. Alliances would be formed only to crumble when political interests diverged. This legacy of mistrust and the feeling of historical grievances have fueled the political competition. The quest for the presidency became, for the Luo, not just a political ambition, but a fight for their rightful place at the nation's helm. It's a deep-seated aspiration. Fast forward to more recent times, the political chessboard is always shifting. Remember 2013? Uhuru Kenyatta, a Kikuyu, and William Ruto, a Kalenjin, formed a powerful alliance. They ran on a joint Jubilee ticket. The deal, widely understood, was Uhuru Kumi, Ruto Kumi. 10 years for Uhuru, then 10 years for Ruto. This pact electrified their strongholds. It brought together two communities that had clashed violently after the 2007 elections. It seemed like a masterstroke. They won in 2013 and again in 2017. Ruto was the loyal deputy, waiting in the wings. But then came the twist, a political bombshell that no one saw coming. The famous handshake in March 2018, President Uhuru Kenyatta and his longtime rival Raila Odinga, a Luo, stood side by side, shaking hands, pledging to unite the country. What? This was a seismic shift. The Building Bridges Initiative, or BBI, followed, aimed at constitutional reforms. And then, the ultimate surprise, Uhuru Kenyatta endorsed Raila Odinga for the presidency in the 2022 elections. This effectively tore up the script he had with William Ruto. Talk about drama. The mountain was divided. So, the stage was set for an epic 2022 showdown. Raila Odinga, now with the backing of the sitting Kikuyu president, chose Martha Karua, a respected Kikuyu politician, as his running mate. The strategy was clear: secure a significant chunk of the Mount Kenya vote. On the other side, William Ruto, feeling betrayed, didn't back down. He picked Rigathi Gachagua, another Kikuyu politician from the mountain, as his running mate. Ruto appealed directly to Kikuyu interests, especially farmers, portraying himself as the true heir to Uhuru's initial promise. The Kikuyu community found itself at a crossroads, pulled in different directions. The 2022 election was intense, but thankfully largely peaceful. William Ruto, with his Kenya Kwanza coalition, emerged victorious. Raila Odinga's Azimio la Umoja coalition challenged the results, but the Supreme Court upheld Ruto's win. It was a bitter pill for Odinga and his supporters. For the fifth time, the presidency had eluded him. Interestingly, voter turnout was lower than in previous polls. Some said it was voter apathy, perhaps disillusionment with the political games. The outcome reshaped alliances and left many questions hanging in the air. What did this mean for the future? Now, as we stand in mid-2025, the dust from 2022 has settled, but the political landscape is forever changed. The perceived betrayal by former President Kenyatta still stings in parts of the Mount Kenya region that supported Ruto. They feel their loyalty was tested. On the other hand, Raila Odinga's supporters, having come so close with presidential backing from a Kikuyu leader, are wondering what went wrong and what the next move will be. These dynamics are crucial as we edge closer to the 2027 general election. Old wounds and fresh political calculations are in play. How do ordinary Kenyans feel? It's a mixed bag, folks. In the Mount Kenya region, some voters who defied Uhuru Kenyatta to vote for William Ruto feel vindicated by Ruto's presidency. Others who heeded Uhuru's call to support Raila now find themselves in the opposition, perhaps questioning their choices. Many Luo supporters are undoubtedly disappointed, but their political spirit is rarely broken. They will be watching Raila Odinga's next steps keenly. The conversation in Angeles, in Matatus, in homes, is all about what these big political shifts mean for their daily lives and for 2027. Looking ahead to 2027, the Kikuyu vote will, once again, be a major battleground. President Ruto will be keen to maintain the significant support he garnered from the mountain. Will he succeed? Or will new political formations emerge? Raila Odinga, or whoever might take up his mantle, will also need a strategy for central Kenya. Can the Luo-Kikuyu political alliance, as seen in 2022, be rekindled, or will new pacts be forged? The Kalenjin Kikuyu alliance that brought Ruto to power will also be tested. Politics, as they say, is the art of the possible. So, why does this Luo-Kikuyu rivalry continue to dominate our political discourse? It's about history, identity, and the persistent struggle for power and representation. It's about leaders seeking to consolidate their ethnic bases while reaching out to others. The ghosts of past elections, the memories of broken promises, and the allure of the presidency ensure this dynamic remains central. While we all hope for a future where politics is purely issue-based, the reality of ethnic mobilization is still with us. Understanding this rivalry is key to understanding Kenyan politics today and tomorrow as we march towards 2027. It's a story far from over. Keep it JKL.